giving your dog room to play. And giving more space with an in-ground fence is a great way to do so. Hi, I'm Rebecca, and I can't wait to tell you how you can give your dog even more space in his yard with a YardMax rechargeable in-ground fence system from PetSafe. This new system was created to be the most reliable pet management system while maximizing the amount of yard space for your pet to play freely. The YardMax allows your pet up to 30% more room to play. As the boundary starts on the outside of the wire, your pet will quickly learn his boundary. The exclusive Ready Test and Perfect Fit Test features ensure the receiver collar is ready and working, which removes any uncertainty of whether the collar is fitting your pet correctly. Create a fun outdoor space for your pet with a YardMax rechargeable in-ground fence system. Give your dog a bigger play area and give yourself less worry knowing that your dog's collar fits correctly and works properly.
Introducing the Dogtra Pathfinder, the smarter GPS e-collar system on your smartphone to map, track, and train without using cellular data. Now you have a more intelligent and responsive way to track and train your dogs in any hunting, working, or training situation. Full e-collar functions, detailed satellite and topography views, 2-second map update rate, 2K zoom capability, tracking only mode, history playback, geofencing, location sharing, up to 21 devices, 9-mile range. More features, more range, more detail, more control, without costing more.
Hi, I'm Clay Thompson, Category Manager for Sport Dog Brand. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the 3 modes of operation and the static stimulation ranges of our Contain and Train system. You can operate the system in containment only mode, which does just that. It's going to contain your dog around the house or whatever area it is that you've designated for him to stay. You can operate it in contain and train mode. This gives you full remote training capabilities while you're in the containment area. Or we can operate it in remote training only mode, which allows us to take the dog anywhere, in the field, to the park, any place we want off-leash obedience. When the display is active, press and release the power button. The mode icon will flash, indicating that you can change modes. Press the plus and minus buttons until the desired mode is selected. After changing modes, press and releasing the power button again while the mode is blinking will allow you to change the static stimulation levels for containment if you are in containment or contain and train modes. Pressing the plus or minus buttons will cycle through the static stimulation levels. Stimulation level, tone, and vibration are controlled by the remote transmitter when the unit is in training only and contain and train modes. When in training only or contain and train modes, there are 3 stimulation ranges: low, medium, and high. Within each range, there are 7 levels, along with vibration and tone. To change the range of stimulation, follow these steps. Step 1, make sure the collar receiver is off. Step 2, then turn the unit on by pressing and releasing the power button. Step 3, after the indicator light turns off and within 5 seconds, press and hold the power button for 3 seconds. Step 4. The collar receiver will then beep once. This indicates low stimulation range. If medium is desired, continue to hold the power button until the number of beeps equals the desired stimulation range, shown in the chart. Step 5. Release the power button once the desired range is selected. The collar receiver will turn off. Step 6. Turn the unit back on. It will then beep according to the stimulation range selected in Step 4.
Dogs love to be out in the fresh air, enjoying freedom and to explore and forage. But you want to keep them safely in your garden. That's why we came up with the PetSafe in-ground fence system. One kit that contains everything you need, including a transmitter unit, a receiver collar for your dog, and full instructions that make it easy for you to install. To begin, fix the transmitter unit to your garage wall or other suitable interior location. Connect the wire to the transmitter unit and plug the unit into a standard socket. Just insert the battery into the receiver collar and go out into the garden. Lay the wire on the ground where you want to set the boundary. And test the collar by holding it over the wire and listen for the beep. The next step is to bury the wire to create the invisible fence. Define the area that you want to be the boundary, then simply take a spade and make a slit 2 to 3 inches deep. Lay the wire in the slit, then tamp the earth flat over it. When your dog is wearing the collar, he'll hear the warning beep, and if he crosses the boundary, he receives a harmless static stimulation via the collar. The kit includes these flags which you can use to mark the boundary and help to indicate to you and your dog just where it is. Extra flags and wire are also available to create a larger perimeter. Now fit the collar to your dog and everything's ready to begin the essential training process. With training completed, your dog will soon be playing happily within a set and safe boundary. When your dog has learnt where the boundary is, the marker flags can be removed. The in-ground fence system works with multiple pets too, as it's compatible with a number of extra receiver collars. Freedom for your dog and peace of mind for you. From Pet.
Hi, I'm Claire, a PetSmart associate, and this is the high-tech Pet Humane Contain electronic dog fence. This system includes 3 integral components: a heavy-duty wire fence, a multifunctional collar, and a base station transmitter. The ultra-wire fence is 500 feet long and resistant to sunlight, moisture, ground rot, and corrosion. Burial-grade wire splices make it easy to install. Instead of one large shock pulse, the fence uses a pulsed proportional stimulus system to send smaller signals to your pet's collar. These signals increase in intensity as he gets closer to the boundary, and the ultra-slim collar is lightweight, waterproof, and rechargeable. Finally, the base station transmitter tracks the entire electronic fence system and alerts you immediately to any malfunctions. The transmitter features water-sealed housing, making it mountable outdoors. Purchase the high-tech Pet Humane Contain electronic dog fence at PetSmart.com or visit a PetSmart store near you to speak with one of our associates.
In this video I'm going to show you how to pair and unpair the Pet Control HQ dog training collars to your remote control. Before we begin, please note that the collars will arrive paired to the remote control on purchase. The collar with the black strap will be paired to dog selection button 1, and the collar with the orange strap will be paired to dog selection button 2. If they are paired, then the following procedure is not required. You should charge the collars and the remote control for 6 to 8 hours before their first use. Pair one collar at a time while leaving the other collar turned off. Once the devices are sufficiently charged, start by making certain the collar is turned off. If there's no LED light whatsoever coming from the collar for more than 5 seconds, the collar is already off. If you see a green blinking light, hold the power button on the collar down until you hear an extended beep sound. Once you let go of the button, the red light should turn off and the collar will be off. Once the collar is off, turn on the remote by holding down the power button. You'll see a letter and digits appear on the remote screen indicating the remote is turned on. Now turn one of your collars on by holding down the power button until you hear several beeps. If the green LED light on the collar blinks once every 5 seconds, it is in dual mode. Dual means 2, and to pair the collar to the remote, the collar must be in dual mode. In dual mode, the collar will work with both your remote control and your dog fence system simultaneously. If the collar is blinking twice every 5 seconds, it is in single mode. Single meaning 1, so the collar will only work with the dog fence, it will not work with the remote control. To switch between dual and single modes, hold down the power button on the collar until you see the LED light turn red. Once the light turns red, release your finger immediately off the power button. Remember, to pair the collar to the remote, it must be in dual mode, so make sure the light is blinking once every 5 seconds. Next, put the remote in unmatched pairing mode by holding down the lightning bolt button and the bell button at the same time on your remote control. Hold them down until the numbers on the screen start running. The remote is now ready to unpair the collar in unmatched mode. To pair the first collar, bring the remote very near the collar while avoiding touching the prongs with the antenna, and press one of the 3 dog selection numbers on the remote. Several consecutive beeps will sound, and this will set the collar into unpaired matched mode, indicated by the light on the collar rapidly blinking continuously. Now hold down the lightning bolt and bell buttons simultaneously again on the remote until the numbers on the screen stop running. Once the numbers stop running, the remote is no longer in unmatched mode. Next, hold down the plus sign and the lightning bolt buttons simultaneously on the remote until the numbers start running again. Once the numbers start running, the remote is ready to be paired to the collar. Now the antenna of the remote must be touching the collar next to where the green LED light is on the collar, and hold down either of the dog selection buttons, 1, 2, or 3, on the remote until you hear several consecutive beeps come from the collar. Whichever number you select will be assigned to the collar. Finally, take the remote out of pairing matching mode by holding down the plus sign button and the lightning bolt button simultaneously until the numbers on the screen stop running. You have now paired the first collar to the remote. To test the connection, make sure the remote is not on top of the collar. The remote should be at least 3 feet away. Press the button number you assigned to the collar and then press the bell button. You should hear a beep from the collar. If you press the vibrate button, the collar should vibrate. If you hold the test light bulb to the prongs on the collar and press the lightning bolt button, you should see the test light bulb light up. Before pairing the second collar, hold down the button on the first collar to turn it off. We'll follow the same process up until the end to pair the second collar. Start by holding down the button on the second collar until the green light appears. It should flash once every 5 seconds, indicating it's in dual mode. Bring the remote very close to the collar. Set the remote to unpairing unmatching mode again by holding down the bell and lightning bolt buttons until the numbers on the screen start running. Press either button 1, 2, or 3 on the remote, it doesn't matter which one at this point, until several consecutive beeps are heard. The collar light should now start blinking rapidly. Next, hold down the bell and lightning bolt buttons until the numbers on the screen of the remote stop. Now we'll put the remote in pairing matched mode, beginning by holding down the lightning bolt and plus buttons until the numbers on the screen start running. Hold the antenna of the remote next to where the green LED light on the collar is and press a number other than the number you assigned to the first collar. Several consecutive beeps will be heard. The light on the collar should now only blink once every 5 seconds. Finish by holding down the plus sign and lightning bolt buttons until the numbers on the remote screen stop running. You've now paired the second collar to the remote. To test, remember to not place the remote on top of the collar and keep them at least 3 feet apart. Select the number you assigned to the second collar. If you press the bell button, you should hear a beep from the collar. If you press the vibrate button, the collar should vibrate. If you hold the test light bulb to the prongs on the collar and press the lightning bolt button, you should see the test light bulb light up. To use both collars at the same time, make sure they're both powered on and select the corresponding number on the remote to use one collar, and press the other corresponding number on the remote to use the other collar. You can pair a third collar to the remote control. The remote control has 3 dog selection buttons, and you can control 3 dogs simultaneously from your remote control.
I'm Samantha, this is my Chocolate Lab Sadie, and today we're going to be reviewing the Extreme Dog Fence System for you guys. This is one of the absolute most popular models on the market. It's one of the ones that I get asked about all the time. This is the one that I personally have used and trained dogs with for many years. I recommend this fence to anybody that's looking for an electronic containment system for their dog. Of course, these fences are not for everyone. They're not for every dog. That's a story for another day. If you want more information on electronic fence systems, containment systems for dogs, even the wireless kind, we have tons of information on our website. You can find some links below this video. If you click, there's a link below this video as well to my full extensive written review of this product, and there's tons of links in there with some great information for anybody with questions about these types of systems, other systems similar to this one, pros and cons to each. There's a ton of information. I'm trying to make this video as short and sweet as possible because I know you guys don't want to sit here all day. So let me dive into each part of the system. I'll tell you what it does, how you hook it up, the pros and cons, and we'll go over all the details. This fencing system seems a little bit intimidating at first. It certainly did to me. This is the owner's guide that comes with it, and I wanted to show you this because it's got some really great information, and I just wanted to let anybody know that's intimidated by this product the way that I was, that it's really not as scary as it looks. They have this really easy guide for setting everything up. Sorry, it's upside down. So about, planning your fence layout and selecting your transmitter location, everything from laying out the fence and the wire, testing it before you try it, setting everything up from start to finish. It's a very easy guide to follow. There's plenty of pictures in here to help you. I'm certainly not a tech savvy person, but I was able to figure this out really quickly. I will say it took my husband and I together about half a day. We spent an afternoon installing this fence and hooking everything up. So it's certainly time consuming. But the thing about this fence that people need to realize is you're getting the quality of an in-ground fence that you would find in companies that come out to your house and install it yourself. Those big name companies that cost a lot of money. This is the most similar quality that you'll find in a do-it-yourself product. With that being said, you do have to do it yourself. So what you're going to get with this system, now this is, the example I'm showing is the 1-dog system with 500 feet of fence. So you're going to get 500 feet of this 14 gauge wire. You're also going to get 50 feet of this 16 gauge twisted wire. Now, the twisted wire, basically what you're going to do is set up the transmitter in your home, and you're going to run the twisted wire from the transmitter out to your boundary line, and the twist in the wire cancels out the signal. So when your dog crosses back and forth from this twisted wire, he's not going to get correction. So this can run out to your boundary line. Your dog can cross back and forth with no correction. And if you need more of this wire, you can buy it from a company if you choose. 2, you can twist it yourself, and they give you instructions in the owner's manual of how to twist it, how many twists per foot you'll need, things like that. So let's start off with the transmitter. So this is the transmitter. This is what it looks like. You can take the cover off and you can see there's 3 little spaces here with screws on them, and those are where your twisted wire and your ground wire are going to go. It's really easy to hook that up. Now this is going to go somewhere in your home, and whoops, drop the cover on the ground, so there's a little dirt on there, and this gets attached to your wall. There's screw holes here where you attach this to your wall. Now this goes inside, so you're going to have your AC adapter here. It plugs into the wall. Your wires need to go outside, obviously, so you can either run them through a window, which is what we do, or you can drill a hole through your wall. That's up to you. We chose not to do that in our home, but that is something to keep in mind. Now the transmitter has multiple frequency selection to ensure that your fence works consistently, even if your neighbors have a fence or there are other signal emitting devices in the area. this is what I want to focus on with this product, and what you guys need to know is the consistency is 100%. You don't have to worry about consistency with this. We have used wireless fence systems in the past. We know a lot of people that have. The issue with the wireless fence systems, they're much more convenient, they're much cheaper. However, lots of things can interfere with your signal, from a neighbor's fence to other signal emitting devices, large metal objects, appliances in your home, metal roofing, vehicles out in your driveway can all affect the signal and the consistency of that signal that your dog gets. So with this system, you don't have to worry about that. And that's what I stress, because this system is more time consuming and it does cost more, but there are benefits to that. So you get boundary zone with adjustment. That's completely digital with this. You can just set the different buttons, and the information's all in your guide again to do that. So because it's digital, you can make extremely precise adjustments. They do have a patented temp and wire check diagnostic feature, and you can see that as well. More information about that on our website. But basically the feature senses and adjusts for temperature and electrical changes that could have a negative effect on the boundary wire. Another thing to keep in mind is that there's no battery backup with this. This plugs into your wall, so if you lose power, your fence goes down. Keep that in mind. There is no battery backup. This is the surge protector that comes with it. Again, very easy to hook up. You have power on, protection okay, and then a line fault. So if your wire is buried underground and you have an issue, this is going to notify you. It's also going to protect you from any electrical surges, to keep your fence from electrical surges and lightning strikes. So it's basically just a way to protect your investment. So you get that as well. Now let's talk about the collar. It's pretty standard as far as electronic collars are concerned. You have the two prongs there. You do get two rubber covers, and these are conducting rubber covers. So if you're doing a static correction, your dog's still going to feel that with the covers over it, but it just keeps him a little bit more comfortable. The collar also features a digital frequency encoding, which eliminates any stray signal interference, again, from neighbors' fences or any signal emitting devices that might be around the area. This collar, the device, not the collar, but the device itself, the receiver, weighs only 1.1 ounces, which makes it one of the smallest and most lightweight available on the market. This system is suitable for dogs weighing 8 to 120 pounds. And the reason for that is because it also has 8 different settings. You get the tone-only setting. There are 5 different static correction level settings and 2 progressive settings. Now, this is what I like, and this is a unique feature that you don't find with a lot of other wireless containment systems and even wired containment systems. It has 2 progressive settings that automatically increase the correction level as your dog gets closer to the boundary. So I'm not going to show you this on our dogs today. They are boundary trained, and I'm not going to do that to them because that's just not fair to them. So I'm just going to explain it to you and tell you about our experience. But this was really great for training our Beagle, who is a hunting dog, and she had a tendency to leave the yard. The progressive settings were really great for her, and that helped us train her. And now our dogs wear these collars, and they're on the tone only setting, and we haven't had a problem in years with our dogs leaving the yard. If you have more than one dog, each collar has its own correction level. The level for each collar is set on the transmitter, not the collar itself. So our Beagle is on a much different setting than our Labrador Retriever because she's so much smaller. You have no buttons, no charging points, nothing on this because it's not rechargeable. This is battery operated. So there's pluses and minuses to that. A lot of people like recharging so they don't have to replace the battery, but the battery life is 2 to 4 months. So you got plenty of time with the battery, and you don't have to charge it, weekly like you would with a different setting. And because it doesn't have the charging port or anything, any dials, any buttons, anything like that, this is 100% waterproof, which makes it ideal for anybody living on the water. If you have a waterfront home, if you have a pond in your yard, really rainy climates, this is going to be a great option. So again, I know this is a lot of information in a really short video. Jump on our website for more detailed information, but basically what I want to get through to you guys, you know, consistency is at 100%. That's why we use it. That's why I recommend it. You don't have to worry about your dogs being corrected when they are in the boundary. You don't have to worry about your dog crossing the boundary without a correction. So consistency is at 100%, which I find to be my #1 priority, certainly. However, this fence is more expensive and it's much more time consuming than those wireless containment systems. So you have to balance that out. You have to balance out your budget and certainly the number of dogs you have. If you only have one dog, it's going to be cheaper. The system for the one dog and the 500 feet of wire is about $339 on Amazon right now. You can get up to a system with up to 5 dogs and 5,000 feet of wire, and that's going to cost you upwards of $1,000. So it's certainly not going to fit in everyone's budget.
System.